The following program is rated PG. Parental guidance is advised, as the theme or content may not be suitable for all children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi friends, and welcome back. I'm Wendy and I've got Renee back there behind the camera, and I'm sitting here in the beautiful garden at 8th Generation Winery with Stefanie.
Nice to be here.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's so nice to welcome you to your own garden.
Yeah, that's the part. Usually I'm not sitting, I'm usually pouring, but this is good. Definitely.
Well, your winery is one of our family favorites. So we've always loved a chance that we
Thank
can
you.
come down here. Your wine is wonderful, and it's so fun looking around in the house, or the wine shop that used to be a house, and imagining how it was back
Before. Yes. Yeah.
So why don't you tell us the meaning of the name 8th Generation? We'll start there. And
then slide from one theme to the
slide-
other.
Yes, we'll just groove it in like that.
Okie dokie. So 8th Generation, that's the name for the winery here. We are the first generation here in Canada, but we are in the business since 1783. So my husband's family, they actually started making wine 1783 back in Germany. We moved in 2003 and we started the business in 2007.
Okay.
So it was a step-by-step approach. He's a winemaker, he's the viticulturist. So he studied that in Germany for 3 years. And
Which
then
region?
in the Rhine-Hessen region, so a little bit south from the Mosel. Somebody knows the Mosel area?
Oh, they'll know.
Oh no, right? It's one of the biggest wine regions in Germany. So yeah, we are out from small town Flörsheim-Dalsheim, and moved 2003 to start here. He worked in New Zealand. He worked in South Africa after the university. He got kind of that bug that you can do other things in other countries. Back to the family estate. I was a lot of family involved in the business. For us, a little bit too much family. And that's why we said, okay, we have to search around and see what else, where we can put our foot down.
How did Canada weigh in? You must have been weighing
Yeah.
South Africa
Yes.
and New Zealand.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So it was not just the wine region itself. It was basically also moving the family, or our family, and it's also just where you want to live. So it was not just the wine region, the domination factor. Yeah, for sure.
So also the culture and
Yes,
who
exactly.
Canadians
Yes,
tend to be
yeah,
when we're outside
yes.
of our country.
Exactly. So
Have we
we
been-
looked. It was
have we
all
been
good.
nice?
Yes. lots of stories later.
Oh yes, that's our most flexible word.
Yes. So we actually searched the northern hemisphere in the wine region belt. Basically, California was too warm for us. We wanted to create these crisp white wines. and with lively acidity, and you can't do that if you move south with, with the climate. It's too warm there. So it was a small belt. We looked also in Niagara region, and the Niagara guys told us, and I'm forever thankful for them, that we should have a peak in BC as well.
Okay.
And that was all before Google, that was all before you had a phone, and we really looked in the big map, and it was like, oh, okay, it's Vancouver, and they talk about this valley here, and it was not well known, and nobody knew. And Dant checked it out.
Nice.
He came back with 3 pictures, and he said, this is where we go. So we put our immigration papers in, and 1.5 years later we had the stamp, and that's how we got here. Yeah.
That's incredible. What a good story. I have some follow-up questions.
Okay. Should we have some wine in between?
Oh, we should. We shall. But okay, when the family was making their first vintage in Germany.
Yeah.
In
1783.
What's happening in history at that point?
That was probably a couple years before the French Revolution started.
Oh my goodness.
So
for context,
that's
so
far. A few vintages ago. We actually have in the wine shop a letter from the second generation, which actually was in the war, and he was fighting for Napoleon.
Wow.
And he wrote a letter back to the family. He was stationed in Spain. He didn't like it, he missed the wine. And that's basically the whole letter which is about, but it has the whole French battalion and everything on the top of the letterhead.
Oh, fascinating.
So that is a piece in the wine shop which we have on display.
Because unless you're involved in an Indigenous community here in Canada, there's just an empty space.
Yes, yeah.
You know, we're all of us somewhere from somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
Were.
At one time we all immigrated and we all felt welcome here in Canada, and I'm super happy that we made it to this part of the world, yeah.
So yeah, that's just a lot of history. Then if you put it in the context, for me, the way my brain is working, like before the French Revolution. So this family's wine tradition predates Jean Valjean.
And so they did not had winemaking in that style like we see it right now. At that time it was winemaking and selling barrels to restaurants and selling barrels to pubs and stuff like that. So it was not the same setup. Bottling was happening maybe 1900, seriously more in the 18 something they started to do that. But while the first, second, third generation actually dealt with wine, it was by the barrel.
Barrel.
Yeah. My grandfather actually still put wine on the barrel with his horse harness and delivered that to the next big city. So.
Oh, that's lovely. That was your grandfather?
That was my grandfather, yes.
Okay, so that's 2 generations previous.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So that was a little bit before the second, kind of between the First and the Second World War. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
My great-grandfather was a bootlegger. Close.
Hey! so I think he made it legally.
Well, we had prohibition.
Yeah, I know.
He was entrepreneurial.
Yes. You had to
Probably
be.
in jail
You
half
had
his
to
life.
be.
And
Okay.
so what was the latitude in the wine region in Germany versus
So
here?
it's kind of the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're on the 5th as well, a little bit south of the 5th parallel.
So we can expect sort of warmer temperatures during the day, a big dip at night.
In Germany?
Yeah, and
comparison
as here.
compared to here.
The diurnals for there versus here.
What they have to deal with is definitely more of these unexpected rain or no rain.
Oh, okay.
So they don't have that consistency in the climate.
Yeah.
And we
But
have
here, no rain.
We
It's
have
gonna
no
be
rain, and for that reason we have the irrigation. Yeah. So that's the way, and actually they are working on getting irrigation in their vineyards as well. So
it's not going to be against the law?
There are EU restrictions for everything, so I'm pretty sure they have that for that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard from my friends in the French wine industry that
yeah.
this is like the Wild West out here.
Yep.
You can do anything you want. You plant
Yes.
anything anywhere.
Yes.
If it doesn't work, tear it out,
Yes.
try again.
Yeah.
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 Water
There
when you
are way
want.
more restrictions over there.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
But we have more restrictions selling alcohol than they have.
I know. You can thank my great-grandfather for that business. I ruined your life. Yeah, a lot of hangover from the Prohibition is still in effect. So can people in Alberta pick up your wine in liquor stores?
No. So the reason they can't pick it up is because we don't sell it through the liquor board.
Okay.
I sell my product. We are a small estate. We have only the wines here available in BC.
Okay.
That is our decision. This has nothing to do with that we cannot ship or anything. It is just we are small. It is enough that we sell in BC. We don't have explore any other markets, but we can ship Canada-wide our products. So everyone can order, can go online and get the wines. Yeah.
So like a wine club?
Exactly. Yes.
And
Yeah. Or
do you
you
have
just go
one
on the
that ships?
website and we ship. And we have a wine club in place as well. So you get 3 times a year, lovely selection from us. And then also you can order on the website and get your wine shipped. That's totally possible as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. So,
Yeah.
because there are people watching all across Canada and want to make sure that the things that they are trying, there's some way
Yeah.
for them to try this at home as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And of course, the welcome is always out for our visitors and
And
local people.
We have lots of local bootlegging people. I don't know if I should say that.
Carrying stuff in their trunks.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
who knows what they do? You know, they
And-
buy your wine and where it goes.
Just enjoy it, right? That's the main thing.
Absolutely. So it gets out and people get to try it.
Okay.
All right. So what are
should
we
we
going to
try?
try? I want to try all the things. Yeah. So, and I'll ask you an obnoxious amount of questions if that's all right.
Sure.
Okay. Because I'm so
Of course.
right.
So what I had planned, we have 11 different varieties as an option. I nailed it down to 4 because I will tell about all the other ones. But let's start with some rosé. The weather is beautiful and it's just a great wine all year round.
Okay.
Rosé is not just for summertime.
No.
No, definitely not. So let's have a glass. This is your water. Use it, please. And then we have some. And I'm pouring a little bit more than what I would usually do in the tasting because we just want to see a little bit more color here. And whoops, this is the one. What we are having.
Trying right now.
Pinot Meunier. So, have you had Pinot Meunier before?
I believe I have, but maybe only here.
Yes. Yeah, for sure here. Yes. we are doing Pinot Meunier Rosé since day one. So since we opened the winery, we had the Pinot Meunier as a rosé, as a single varietal, single vineyard rosé. Again, coming from Europe, it was clear we have to have a rosé in the portfolio. It's like you can't open a wine shop with no rosé. We had no idea
Crazy
about
talking.
that whole rosé issue
Well,
that
we have
some
done
people
some things.
didn't like. Yes, so
you know what?
yeah,
have you tried those terrible things? with
Yes,
them?
yeah. And I heard enough about it that I thought, yeah.
No, we need some time to deprogram.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's when we came in with our rosé, and it actually had right away a huge followership because it's really made as a serious rosé. So, cheers.
Cheers. Oh goodness.
So there's lots. You smell the strawberry.
But it's quite
Citrus.
complicated.
A little bit of that pink grapefruit citrus as well. So
Kind of
that is really good.
tangerine.
And it's more useful. There's more air and more contact. The wine has more contact with the glass, so that helps. And if someone thinks, oh, this is all that fancy swirling, if you're not sure about the swirling, just go on the table and you can swirl it like that, and you're not
table
spilling.
swirls are great.
Yes.
I used to tell people in the winery, because they would be like, whack, 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 whack. So you're going to drench us all in wine. Just pretend it's a pencil and you're drawing tiny little circles, and as you become more confident, you can make faster and bigger circles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's when I tell them, if you haven't spitted in your whole life, don't start spitting wine in the winery.
Take a bottle home and try spitting.
Do that in the shower first, right?
Yeah, because the first few times it's going to be like a drenching effect.
But it is actually a good thing if people spit when they come to the wineries. The whole experience will be so much more rewarding, especially if you do a few wineries a day.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate the power of a day long of wine sipping.
Yes, that is so true.
So spitting is totally appropriated, and every winery will have a spittoon just to do so.
And then they are not angry with you. It'll look like a bit of pro flex.
Absolutely.
If you do it. Yeah.
If anyone is spitting,
a little notebook. You write your tasting notes.
Yeah.
And put your code on it, like big happy smile. That means I'm buying this.
Yes.
Or like face. It's like I'm probably not buying this.
Next time.
Yeah. Next year maybe I'll try
Next
the vintage
year again. So actually, if you come into a tasting room and you're asking for a spittoon and you're trying, or you're spitting your wines, then that is actually a good sign. Everyone in the team will appreciate that. That's not a problem at all.
Yeah, and we would all recognize that that's somebody who's more interested in wine and less interested in drinking.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because there's a couple of different types of customers, right?
Oh yeah.
We're here to
enjoy,
and that's great. And then the other people want to learn.
And this is all about when you come to the winery. So I have a little bit, because the table is not really giving it away with the color, but here we have a little bit of a comparison.
Yeah.
And while we chit-chatted about the Pinot Meunier, just have to put the real stopper on. I just want to put them down so you can see the difference in the color from rosé to white, and want to explain also a little bit why we have, for example, another Pinot Meunier in white. And
it's a Blanc de Noir.
Okay. Exactly. And just imagine a red wine here. Improvising a little bit. So this is the three colors you can have from a Pinot Meunier grape. Pinot Meunier is a red grape, like Pinot Noir.
Is it going to have a black skin, or like what color is the
exactly
skin when
the
it's red?
Same skin like a Pinot,
Like a
Noir
Pinot Noir
grape, or like a table grape you buy in the grocery stores. This is not Pinot Meunier. This is just color comparison. So,
who are you?
Yes.
Lie down.
So color-wise, if we use the Pinot Meunier grape and we allow a full fermentation on the grape skins, then we have all the colors from the skin in the juice. Here we have only 24-hour skin contact, so a little bit of color goes in. And this one here has no skin contact, so just free run juice from the press, and that doesn't allow any color from the skins, from the berry skins into the juice, and after fermented into the wine.
This must be quite a quick process. Can you leave that down for a second? Renee, do you want me to grab the small one and just show what this looks like from straight above? Because we're seeing through the wine to a white. I'm going to just do that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm grabbing a camera that's offside that you can't see, moving it over so that you can see what we're talking about.
So all the three colors, basically.
Making shadow in everything.
Should we do it like this?
I think we're good.
Good. I mean, this is
There
just
we go.
an idea, right?
And it's such
so
a
where's
fun
the
idea.
where's the color coming from?
Exactly.
It's coming from the skins, and that's basically about it. You can make with a red grape a red wine, but you can certainly make a rosé and you can also make a white.
So very flexible. Why
Yeah.
would you choose the Pinot Meunier?
Because it was planted here on site when we bought the place.
Already
we
it
had
was
Pinot
here.
Meunier here.
Okay, so how old are those vines?
So they are 2007, 20, not really 20 years. No, hang on. Yeah. They were planted 2001, so the vineyard was
Okay.
established. So 23 years old, yes. Yeah.
All right. So are they anything that we can see from here?
This is Pinot Noir.
Because that looks pretty young.
That is
2,
freshly
3 years?
planted. Yeah, 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
So you're going to get fruit from this
Yeah.
year?
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, we had fruit 2 years now. Yeah.
Oh,
So 22 was the first vintage we had something, and 23, and then 24. Hopefully, we get something as well. Yes. Pinot Meunier is all behind us.
Okay.
And if we do a little bit more deep dive into Pinot Meunier, we can do that. I have a little bit of an example for you why they call Pinot Meunier. And I went through the vineyard and prepped some different wines.
Oh, these are not all the
So
same
these are
vine.
not all the
Oh
same.
no, they are quite different. This
So-
one here is quite dusty.
Yeah, it looks like,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but like a
Yes, it has a little bit of a coating. It has a little bit of a velvety touch to it. This is Pinot Meunier.
oh,
So this is Pinot Noir,
okay.
and this is Riesling.
Oh,
Just so they look
wow.
all a little bit different, but it's really easy to spot Meunier.
Yeah, so almost the
and-
character
Yes,
of the
so
wine too.
quite different.
Yeah.
And Meunier is French miller.
Oh yeah.
So
okay.
it looks like that the miller went through and dusted them with his flour. That's why the name comes from.
Okay.
So it's not spray. It's actually a woolly coating, and
Wow.
you can. I don't.
Oh, you
hang
can
on.
kind of rub off the coating.
You can rub it off, and you see there's a little bit of that felty
Oh my goodness.
look.
Oh, that's so interesting. I'll have to grab a close-up of that after we're finished.
Okay. So
Yeah.
here you see it.
Oh, wow.
And as smaller the leaves, that woolly coating is really distinct. And as bigger the leaves get, it just
Oh.
disappears with the size.
Okay.
But they still have that little
It's
bit
there,
of woolly
but
coating.
it's stretched now over
Exactly.
a huge leaf.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and so this one's the Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
Any trouble with it here?
We have Pinot Noir planted, and it looks okay with the 24 vintage. If you want
Yeah.
to talk a bit about that.
Yeah.
So 24 vintage will be a super small one, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We see some leaves, we have some grapes, but it's definitely not the same amount we have. We are very, very lucky that we see some growth
Yeah.
compared to other places in the Okanagan. We might have been a notch lucky with 1 degree less frost than other areas had,
Okay.
because we are so close to the lake.
Okay, so the lake would
So the
give you
lake
some
helped us
protection.
with maybe 1 degree less than other places with the
okay.
minus degrees.
Yes.
There will be wine. There is also the discussion about will there be any wine next year in the shops to buy. Yes, there will, because red wine are released a year later. Our Free Sunday is released a half a year later. There will be always something filling in.
Yeah. Okay.
Totally.
So no panic.
No panic, no.
Yes. You can
No.
get bannock and wine.
Yes. Okay.
This is
That was the show and
interesting.
tell part.
I love this.
Awesome. There we go.
Okay, here's our show and tell vine.
So, coming back to Blanc de Noir,
Yeah.
it's white, free-run juice, and this is what we have in our glasses, the rosé. A little bit drier, super nice, more like a Pinot Grigio, but a little bit more powerful on the fruit flavors.
Okay.
And dry, while this one is just juicy, sippy,
Yeah.
but not sweet. Definitely not
No,
sweet.
it's not sweet. What would you serve this one with?
You name it.
Is there anything that fights with it? I
Um,
think sweet things, probably.
Yeah, I would not. I would not do anything super sweet. But if you have a creamy chicken, you can do that. If you have pasta dishes, anything in the taco direction. That works. Not too
that's kind of
spicy.
fun.
If you have a spicy food item, then you have a little bit more power on the sweetness on the
Yeah.
wine, just to counterbalance the sweetness. It's
Okay.
not
Would your
made for that.
Riesling have enough residual sugar
yes.
to handle spice?
Yes, exactly.
Nice. I think the off-dry Rieslings are coming back into vogue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Thanks God.
kind of good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So we have Riesling coming from Germany. We have to do Riesling. That's kind of the thing. We bought when we moved to Canada in 2003. We bought a vineyard in Oak Falls, and it had total acreage of 10, but 4 acres of Riesling. And we know, yes,
It's
everything
pretty
is
warm
new.
there.
Everything is
Yeah.
new to us country-wise.
Right.
We know we can do something with Riesling. That was
Yes.
our reassurance. And we sold the grapes the first 4 years to different wineries,
Okay.
just to check if
Yeah.
the region is really made what we want to see in the
yes.
quality
Is this going to
direction.
work?
Exactly.
Because the Riesling, even if it's a clone, it's going to behave so differently
Yeah,
here.
yeah. So we had Riesling, and we sold all the grapes we sold to different wineries. And when we started the winery in 2007, we started with Riesling right away. And we always did a dry, and we always did an off dry, because Riesling, you can really show both sides. It's fantastic to make these two different styles of wine.
Does any of your Riesling show petrol?
Yes, that was new as a term. We never had that term in the wine language in Germany.
What do you say for that taste? To me, it's so strong.
It's
And
more
only that one
mineral.
thing.
It's more, but you wouldn't describe it as diesel or petrol. You would. It's just not there at all.
Yeah.
But it nails it down for sure.
Yeah.
And especially when the Rieslings are older, then they change quite a bit into that direction.
Yeah, the character and even the color starts
Yeah.
looking more jewel
Yes,
tones.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which one would you like to try? Let's open one.
Open one. I want to try your off dry.
Okay.
Because I kind of miss that.
Actually, we keep it here.
Of the German Rieslings that we can get from Germany, are any similar?
Yes.
Because we're getting some. We can say brands. We can't show them. So I know we're getting some that maybe aren't the absolute best.
Do you want to say I don't have German Riesling in my cellar?
No, I'm just wondering if what German Riesling you'll throw under the bus.
Oh.
Push
They
it
are.
in the leg.
They are awesome examples. I don't think you
There's some
get
good ones?
these bad Rieslings
Oh, okay.
anymore. If you look in the 20 plus price range, 25 plus price range,
Okay, so don't
then
cheap
it's
out too
all
much.
solid. Yes.
Where do you think the step is? Like 15, 16, 17, 18? 20 is
it's
the
above
step,
the
isn't it?
20.
Yeah.
Yes.
I find it usually about 24 and
Yeah,
up,
probably.
and then sort of 35.
Yes, yeah. And if you the labeling of the German wines is in the hindsight quite crazy. I think the French ones is even crazier, because you have to know the location and how the style is done. In Germany, at least, they put it on the label. I mean, what do they not put on the label?
I know, it's very specific.
Yeah, but it helps. It helps.
does, it
if you
does.
see trocken, then it means it's dry, and that is really the huge difference between what a Riesling you can expect. If it's a dry Riesling, you have always that biting in a green apple. You have the acidity. You have a nice minerality, and you have that sting of a freshness.
Yeah.
With the off-dry Riesling, off-dry meaning more in the sweeter direction, but not like an
sweet.
ice wine, no.
Yeah.
Just juicy, sweet. That is great then the acidity of the Riesling counterbalances that sweetness. That's why Riesling is made to use as a sweet wine. You couldn't achieve that zestiness with a Chardonnay, because the Chardonnay is not offering that natural high acidity like the
and
Riesling
so
provides.
Much malic acid, so just to get you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that Granny Smith limey.
Exactly, yes, yeah. And that's all natural. So if we would compare grapes to apples, the Riesling would be the Granny Smith under them. Yes.
In the apple world.
Yes, in the apple world. Yes, exactly. So this is the off-dry, and this is the one which is in our portfolio the sweetest, the fruitiest, but also great on the nose.
Yeah.
And here we have our...
Oh, it's a little greenish.
Yep.
So is it, what year? Oh, it's last year's, yeah.
It is the 2022.
Oh.
And it is still from that original vineyard in Okanagan Falls. So that is a fantastic location, yes.
So that minerality is there.
Yep. And Oki Falls has a very sandy soil, very light soil, and the light soil gives a lot of that fruity boost to the wine, and that sand catches a little bit of the minerality. It's not clay like we have on the cliffs in Summerland or on the cliffs in Naramata. It's totally different.
What will like the clay to grow in? Something that likes wet
A little bit more. You can do Pinot Gris, you can do Chardonnay.
Pinot Gris going to be happy then?
Yeah, should.
I was thinking if it got a little warmer, maybe a Merlot.
In the clay.
In the clay.
Okay, yeah, in the clay, sure, yeah. Any reds, any Pinot Noir, all that is fine.
Amazing drainage with the sand.
Yes. And it amps up that fruitiness, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, and I can see the possibility of this aging into the petrol character.
Yeah, it has a little bit of hint of it.
It's very young in there. Yeah, it's there.
And generally, if you have any of our wines at home, you can age them you can drink them now, whatever we release, it's ready to enjoy. And you can also age them for up to 5 years. So it's not that you have to let them sit. But if you love that diesel, if you love that petrol, you let them sit, yes. They all have a screw top, so nothing can go wrong.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's so easy.
Yeah, can you speak just a little bit before we get too into this wine, which is fantastic. I'd like to move it around a bit more. Screw top versus cork, there's still a controversy.
Yeah, well, we have just screw tops. We actually, since 5 vintages now, we always had screw tops on our whites, on our rosés. We still had the cork at that time on the beginning, and now everything is screw top. And I have a little bit of show and tell for the screw top, because you can, with your next, more show and tell,
Show and tell forever.
Do you see a difference?
Yes. One is...
Do you want to explain what you see?
I can explain maybe. One has almost like a liner inside of it.
Yeah.
So, can you see? From there, probably this one looks opaque and this one looks metallic. Yeah.
So one is white and one has that silver liner in them. And the screw top companies quite improved their game, upped up their game. So as a winery, you can choose how much of oxygen with the liner.
So this is going to allow more in?
No, the opposite.
Really?
It seals it like a aluminum foil.
Oh, I thought this one would be like a gasket.
Yeah,
and
this one has the gasket underneath and the liner on top.
Oh,
so that foamy
tricky
is underneath and the liner is on top, so that won't allow any oxygen. This is kind of sealing it, like hermetic sealing.
I love this. I want to take these home and pull them apart.
You trust me?
I trust you, but I want to see how it looks.
If you have one of these nerdy sommeliers in a restaurant, they don't know that yet. Not all of them. Some will know.
Well, I want to always have them on my side, so I will never educate
a
nerdy sommelier.
or a nerdy neighbor which knows everything about wine. We
I-
all have them.
I dig a hole and tunnel out of my yard.
So in short, we use the silver liner,
Yeah.
which will seal the wines 100% for all our whites, for our rosés.
Beautiful.
And we use this more breathable liner for our reds. So
it's
it mimics
maturing nicely.
it mimics the cork.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a lot of technology going into these screw caps, yeah,
Very
nowadays.
Clever
Mhm.
and tricky.
How did we end up with the screw jobs?
I don't know, but it's great. Did somebody from Germany invent that? It feels like it could be German engineering.
I don't know.
right?
I don't want to say yes.
Probably somebody from Switzerland.
Yeah,
I was
but
busy
the
making
biggest
clocks, and now here.
but the biggest producer of screw caps is from Canada.
Really?
Yes. So
Screw caps.
Alcan is a big producer in screw caps. Yeah.
Oh,
So it's good. Yeah.
We
It's
will.
it's a local product.
supply the world with screw caps. We get into weird spaces in this show.
So anyway, we have some Riesling.
Cheers.
Cheers. And this is great for any blue cheese, anything solid, strong on the flavor. It's good for any aged cheese, a little bit more powerful. Food dishes will work with this amazingly. For the reason, the wine is so powerful, so you can match it with something really powerful as well. Spicy dishes work as well, so you can get it a little bit
Yeah.
more into the spicy sashimi, sushi. Any
that would be
po-
great with
bowls
sushi.
will be fantastic.
Yeah. Hey. Oh, this is gorgeous. And it's more mouthfeel than I was expecting. I was expecting like the dart. But this is
It is there.
yeah.
And
wow.
And all of the wines we have are single varieties, except of a few we will go in there. Single varieties, single vineyard, and they are powerhouse on the flavor. And there's a lot of acidity as well. I just have to swallow.
I know.
So there is a powerhouse of flavor going on while you are tasting the wines, and the flavor is what we actually want to see. The typical grape flavor, that's what we want to see in our wines. So everyone tastes teeny tiny bit different, but very distinct different, yeah.
And the difference between the years. Because some people think it's just, you're just being ridiculously posturing if you say this vintage is better than this vintage, and the vintage is just the year that it was picked. So this year versus that year, there can be a tremendous difference.
It can be a difference. We have, and I can speak only for ourselves, we have the same vineyard locations. We have the same winemaker. My husband can't go anywhere, so we have consistency on that
Do
department.
You have them in a cage in that big building in the back? Like, you can't go anywhere.
No, I mean, if other wineries, they have a winemaker,
Oh,
the next year
yeah.
you go there, the wine
Huge
tastes different.
Yeah,
and
the
then
palate
it's just,
of the winemaker
exactly.
is different than yours.
And
Yeah.
everyone has their own style, their own ideas of making the wine. And of course you taste that as well. So yeah, the terroir where the wine grows is definitely a major factor of how the wine tastes. But it's also the winemaker, how he treats it in the cellar.
Yeah. And he's going to make decisions all the way along, right? He's
Yeah.
going to remove leaves.
Yes, yeah.
Green harvest probably.
Yeah.
You're not going to have to do that here this year?
Not this year, no, no. I mean, we are babying all of the shoots. We have actually some grapes on them. It's a tough year. Usually you have 25 grapes on a plant,
All right.
just for comparison. And with some varieties, I have maybe 2 grapes on not one plant, but divided by 6 grapes.
Oh.
So I walked basically into the vineyard row. The first vine, no grapes. The second vine, no grapes. The third vine had 1 grape. And I was at vine number 6 and I counted 2 grapes. That's kind of what we see right now.
Okay. So yes, those are going to be very precious grapes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah.
I wonder what the year will be like with so little coming out, but
It will
all
be-
that goodness coming in through the roots. maybe you're going to just have the
Magic.
most spectacular, like 2015 again.
I don't know. Well, we hope for the
I
best.
live in hope.
We all
I hope for you.
we hope
and
for the
you're
best. And
Pinot Noir.
sometimes
boys.
as a farmer you win. We had a huge crop in 2022.
Yeah.
23 was not so big. 24 is
It's a
not good.
troubled time.
Anything is a bonus. And 25 has to make it up for that. Yeah, for sure.
Well, we'll
Yeah.
wait for 25 to
Yeah.
pull all of our bacon out of the fire.
Yeah. And it's not all the situation that we have actually grapes on them. We have Syrah here, which has nothing on them. So we have to pull the Syrah and plant another. That is kind of
Are you going to leave the roots? And
no,
plant into it?
nothing is growing out of the Syrah,
Oh boy.
which is also an indicator that it's the fuzziest one temperature-wise. So I will not plant Syrah there anymore.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Do you
Yeah.
still have the Okanagan Falls
We
space?
sold the Oke Falls
Okay.
space
'Cause
a
that
couple
might be
years
nice
ago.
For Syrah, do you think?
Yeah.
Maybe. Does
I
it
don't
like-
know. Syrah is really tough.
Yeah.
With the frost, it's the sensitive one. Yeah.
Oh, poor little guy.
And you are as a wine drinker, I love Syrah. As a winemaker and a wine grower, I hate it.
So even more than Pinot Noir,
The Pinot Noir is a different story. Yeah.
because most people just sort of weep a little bit about their Pinot Noir
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. The Pinot Noir is the prima donna under all of the growing conditions. But
It even sort of stands like little ballerinas in its class, just with its little arms out, and then you put it beside the Pinotage block
Yeah.
where everything is crazy.
so
there's
some
no
varieties, some varieties are easier to grow than others. Pinot Noir is not one of them.
No.
No. It's a very tight cluster. So if you
Like pine cone.
a
no?
pine cone, that's where the name comes from. Pinot is like pine, so the pine cone is kind of how the grape looks like. It's not like the ones you buy in the grocery stores, which are all loose and you can shake them.
No, it's like a
It
clunk.
is really
cudgel.
like a snowball
Yeah.
of a grape.
Yeah, you don't want to get hit with any ripeness of, especially when they're still green and hard.
Yep.
Little marbles.
They are.
Yeah, a little cement block of
yes.
marbles hitting you.
So the Pinot is quite solid, and that is the problem, because if water goes in from rain, from irrigation, and from just the humidity, it won't release that humidity, and it will start rotting from inside the
Okay.
grape when we have September, when we have October.
Right.
And that's why I say it's a prima donna. It's all looking nice outside. It still looks fantastic, but if you cut them in half, it can be quite a different scenario inside. That is a tricky part with Pinot, having it ripe to make a red wine and having it healthy. So it's not the heartbreaker for the vineyardist. It's the heartbreaker really for the winemaker in the last months of the season.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's only going to know at the very end.
Yeah. Well, it
What a
helps.
gamble.
It helps if you are the vineyardist. We work the fields. We know what's going on.
Yeah.
So for us, it's not really a surprise whatever you get on the crush
Right,
pad.
yeah.
We already know. Oh, we have to have an eye on this
Yeah.
one, because it's not that we get the grapes and then see what's going on. We always monitor them in the vineyard. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And you're monitoring for flavor profile as
Yeah,
well, right?
yeah.
So would it
Yes.
taste like what your husband decides this is the
Exactly.
moment?
Yeah.
Oh.
And in Germany or in some areas, you basically make the decision on when to pick your grapes on the sugar level, because you want to have them ripe.
So you're testing
The bricks
all the time?
And for us, it's more picking them for the acidity, especially for the reds, especially for the whites, because that is really the backbone of
Yeah.
the white wines and
They're
the
not
backbone
flabby.
of the rosés as well.
You can age a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes it more interesting. Riesling.
Okay.
So let's have some bubbles.
She's got all the things. That's why we're best friends. For almost an hour now.
An
You've been
hour
my
already?
Best friend.
Do we have to rush here?
What an incredibly bizarre little opener you have here.
Well, that is the knick-knack you have in a wine shop, right?
Can a person buy this?
I bought it online. What else do you buy?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Fun.
So it's a little bit.
I want that.
And here we go.
Hey, who's
Some
this made out of?
confidence.
Some confidence.
I don't think we need the confidence, but we might need the confidence.
We might. We could be faking it.
Confidence.
Confidence.
2022.
Okay.
It's
Hello.
it's a frizzante. It's more like a prosecco. It's not a traditional champagne. So traditional champagne goes through 2 fermentation, one to make the wine, the second fermentation to have the bubbles inside of the wine. Here we actually inject CO2 to the wine, to the ready wine. So it is one fermentation, then we get the CO2 into the wine. And with that, we don't have that yeasty undertone like some of the champagnes have.
Okay, so that brioche leaves.
Yes, exactly.
Is not going to be here.
Yeah.
It's going to be just clear and
Yeah.
clean. Fermented in what sort of vessel?
Oh, just stainless steel.
Stainless
Yeah.
steel. So everything's
Everything is
crisp and
fruit forward.
Yeah.
That is the whole idea
nothing
on
has
this
messed
one.
up your fruits.
Yeah.
And
And it's like a rosé on steroids. It's really and you should not swill
no.
because you will lose some of the CO2.
Yeah. The cute bubbles are going to bring the flavor up anyway. Oh my goodness, this is different. So it has a different flavor than your other rosé.
Yes.
So what's the backbone of this one? Is it a
What
blend?
is it? So
Who's here?
it is a blend, and that is also the reason why we gave them a different name.
Yeah.
And the blend can be every season a little bit different.
Nice.
So here we have Merlot. I have to look at my cheat sheet because it's 4 varieties.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, and we have Pinot Meunier in this one. Because when I said on the white, on this one, we used only the free run juice.
Right.
We still had the berries in the press.
Okay.
So when we pressed, this one, the free run juice was used for the Blanc de Noir,
Okay.
but the press portion was
Right.
used in here.
Okay. So explain free run.
Free run is basically you destem the grapes, you have only the berries, you put them in the press, and whatever runs off on the press without pressing,
Right.
that is free run.
Because they're so ripe and now they're weighted down by
Yes,
their
by their
family.
own weight. Yes, exactly. Yes,
And they
squeeze.
pop open and,
Yes, yeah.
and they move to Canada.
Yes. So that is the free run portion, and in here we have the press portion.
Nice, nice. So you're not wasting all that amazing juice that is still sitting.
No,
in-
nothing gets wasted. No, nothing gets wasted.
Oh wow, this is less red berry and more like blues and things like that. It's like Haskap and
Yes,
Yeah.
this is good. And more
fantastic.
small berries. So you have the only strawberry I would say is like that wild strawberry, that little one, the super flavorful ones.
yeah, those little jumpy ones that you can find in the forest. But there's a little bit of earthiness yet. This very background.
Because it has that multi layers,
Yeah.
and the fizziness is kind of exploding in your mouth. You have it again, a really healthy acidity as well,
Oh
just to make it nice and punchy. But then you have that fullness of aromatics, and it lasts, and it lasts long, and it whatever you have
Yeah.
on the nose, it's also on the palate, which is
Yeah,
is
it's
not a
not
teaser.
confused.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, exactly. So that is all going on.
Oh my gosh.
And we do have the little ones
Oh,
as well. So if you like
For your
to be
picnic?
selfish
yes.
for
I
your
do.
picnic, for your golf bag,
All by myself.
for just in comparison, that's the big brother.
Oh, wow.
and that's the Petite.
Oh, hello.
So, and it's also great if you just want to have it for a morning sip
Very pretty bottle.
on a Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do just a cocktail with them, that is really, really awesome.
Nice.
You don't need a lot.
So flavorful.
Yeah. So it's sometimes it's really handy to have the small bottle as well. Very dangerous to have the little one. It's like a
So delicious. Renee, this is yours. You're gonna love this. Letitia too.
A lot of people love the fact that you have a rosé, that you have the soft bubbles, but you don't have that big bubbles like a champagne. It's not going into your sinuses and all of that. You don't have the reflux and all of that. It's really just a little bit of that fizziness,
Yeah, just
super
enough
tiny.
for fancy, but not enough for rabies.
So how we achieve the bubbles is basically we ferment the wine. So we have a ready wine, but instead of bottling that, we put it in a pressure tank, and then the CO2 goes in, and we keep the CO2 with the wine in the pressure tank for months and months, and that's when you achieve these small bubbles. It's not like a soda stream that you have it done, and that's when you end up with the big bubbles.
Right.
This
right.
is
So
a
it's
different
still a very
procedure.
fine bubble. It's not
Exactly.
that aggressive.
Yes.
Soda stream-esque.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and it's not big bubbles, it's really just a soft mousse.
Yeah.
which we
yes,
have.
very much. Yeah.
Right?
It's just dances. Dancing
Okie
on your
dokie.
palate. Okie dokie. Is that your favorite English expression?
Yeah.
We should make a drinking game out of how many times you say okie dokie. I don't have any favorite German expressions. So you're
That's
ahead of
good.
me.
That's good. Usually, if people come up with any German they know, it's not the usual words they know.
No. I just
But-
know Schluss
And
and schlaft gesund.
you see, you have them. So same one is available as a white,
Wow.
a little bit drier,
Okay.
but same bubbly,
Oh,
same
this one is integrity.
Prosecco. This is integrity.
Integrity.
Yes.
So once you have confidence, which comes first, confidence or integrity? That's a question for the philosophers. Right? Probably integrity
Oh.
is first before confidence. Otherwise, you're faking it.
Yeah. Let's say yeah.
Let's say yeah.
Let's say yeah.
Let's say yeah. One more.
Yeah, we have one more. So we have Pinot Noir to talk about, but we talked about the Pinot Noir already. So very traditional Pinot Noir. So we just briefly chit-chat about the Pinot. Pinot is grown here from our vineyard, and Pinot Noir is all the cherry, all the truffly, all that earthy taste, what Pinot Noir is well known for. We have a single varietal again, and we keep the Pinot Noir, all our traditional reds, for 12 months in French oak barrels.
Beautiful.
Only. We don't want to really overpower too much oak into the wine, so we give it 12 months. But we definitely want to have a harsh oak up front. Again, more of the fruit, and then the oak backs it up.
Okay. So does anybody use an American oak with a Pinot Noir, or is that just too aggressive?
Some people use, and that is really winery specific again. We do not. We have only French, but we are not after that heavy duty wine which you have to save for 10 years and then
Right.
you can finally drink it. And
Yes,
we
yes.
just
Or just so oaky and spicy
Yeah.
and crazy that
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
fruit.
so we have here Meritage
Oh, okay. So what's your blend?
and Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Cabernet Franc. And the Cabernet Sauvignon, it's actually written down on the side as well.
And percentages, yeah.
And the percentages, because people are
wanna
finicky, they want to
know.
know exactly. The Cabernet Franc is 42%. That gives it actually a nice softness and fruitiness as well, with a little bit of spice. The Merlot is more the powerhouse on the berries, which is 35. and then 23% is Cabernet Sauvignon, a little harsher, a little bit more shoulder, a little bit more backbone to the wine. And I have it in a cooler, not to cool it down, but also that's something you should do in summertime. It's 20 plus degrees.
Yeah.
This will warm up quite a bit.
Okay.
And if
what
the
temperature do I want to serve it at?
2018, that's
Okay.
ideal. And also do small sips on the patios because the wine will warm up so fast.
Right.
And if the wine is too warm, the only thing you are tasting is just alcohol. You don't have all the finesse then left.
Yeah. It's a beautiful color.
So back to oak, back to red, back to dry after the Frisante.
Such a beautiful mix of fragrance. So yeah.
And it's a 2022, so it's a young vineyard, and for that reason we released it a little bit earlier. It was the first crop. It's from Oliver, from a grape grower.
Oh, wow.
And out of a young vineyard, you can't expect to get these bold flavors yet.
Okay,
They are just more delicate on the beginning. And instead of giving it too much oak and trying to make it a big one, we kept it really on that fruit-forward side.
Right. So you're letting it be who he is.
Exactly, yeah. And then it can grow in the next 4 or 5 years into the bolder direction.
And
The
this
vineyard
one
itself.
will be capped with the white.
Got
on the
it?
outside. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's getting a little bit of oxygen, allowing a bit more
Aging.
Aging.
Yes,
Right.
yeah.
So it'll be turning colors.
So it's really bright on the outside. Has a little bit of that bluish hint to it,
Yeah.
but super
Yeah. So
red, full
purple to garnet.
bodied
Yeah.
red.
So beautiful.
Yeah, it looks even nice on the
I know.
on the white, right?
A little twinkle down
Yeah.
there.
So I was just looking. This was opened this morning, so
Okay.
it aerated already a little bit. And you can do that with your reds for sure. Open them as soon as you start cooking. That's usually a good trick.
Like
don't
maybe an
wait.
hour, an hour and a half.
Exactly. And sometimes even if you open a white one, and it's a good indicator as well. If you open a white, if you should go with your food maybe a little bit more spicy or maybe a little bit more creamy.
Yeah.
To accommodate the wine.
How are we
so
doing?
then you still have a
Yes.
chance to do that
Yeah.
instead of having the food at the table and open
Yes,
the
like,
wine.
Uh-oh, trouble.
Yes, exactly.
And you can always deglaze your pan really quickly with whatever you're serving. Just a little bit of it.
Yes.
And it's like, wow, the sauce goes so well with the wine.
Absolutely.
Because the sauce is the wine. So buy one extra bottle than what you think you need.
And it's always good to have two on hand.
Two. How small is your party? You want lots.
Well, we actually drink at home without any people as well.
Two?
Which is true. For sure. So yeah, that's new. We never had a meritage before. That is the
Yeah.
first meritage we did, but it is out of the 3 main varieties,
Yeah,
and it's a great bold red, which you can enjoy right now.
Yeah, exactly. And it feels like it has the acidity to take a bit of age. Not very tannic.
No, it's not.
It's
No.
quite smooth. So if you want the complexity and not like the puckery tannins, this is perfect.
It's super velvety. It gives you everything. It has the oak, it has the velvety, the softness. You have the full body range on this one as well, and you don't have to age it. This is ready to drink.
Yeah. It's nice that the traditions here in Canada are very. We age our wine for 20 minutes usually.
This is fine. This is good. That's why we release them when they're ready.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't.
Not everyone
really
wants
have
to
that.
wait.
No, and I think maybe put away some special
Of
bottles.
course. Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah,
Cool.
it's amazing. And then we're going to make a cocktail.
Then we make a cocktail.
gosh.
Okay. Okay. So, this is your white wine glass, correct? Let's use the white wine
yes.
glass because it's not the typical red. I
Okay.
grabbed it from the ice bucket It is red, it looks red. It is made out of Merlot. It fermented a whole week on the skins.
Okay.
So we have a little bit, yes, we have a little bit of color. A red wine, a traditional red wine ferments probably for 2 weeks on the skins. Okay, of course, now the wind is picking up. This is great.
Now we have wind.
And so Merlot Cabernet 50-50.
Oh, okay.
Stainless steel only.
Oh, that's juicy. Wow, wow.
Stainless steel only, no oak. Why? That's usually the question. You have to ask why.
Why?
So,
Stefanie. Warum?
Warum? So
Why not? Why did you not oak this? That smells like fresh cherry juice. Why wouldn't you?
because not all of the red wines are done in Europe in the traditional woody style. So you will get a lot of red wines in Europe. You've been probably in Italy, and the wine was super juicy, but it was not focusing on the oak. It was just a nice, easy, sippy red.
It just
and
calmed
that's
down the
exactly
tannins.
and that's exactly what we try to do with this one.
Very nice.
We have it in the ice bucket because then the focus switches over away from the alcohol, away from that heat of the alcohol, and pronounces more of the fruit, and that's why we have it in the ice bucket.
Beautiful.
So it is like a full-bodied rosé. It's probably one wine we get here in the same style is the Beaujolais from France, also
no
not
way.
oaked.
Okay.
But this is 23, so this is not aged, this is not oak, this is just for now to drink, to enjoy. It's great for summertime while you have whatever you have on your barbecue, but it's also great in the hot tub on the ski hill, so that's
fun.
equally good. Yeah.
Okay. You're very intriguing, this wine.
It tastes good.
That is so unusual.
It is very unusual.
Did I
And
take your water also?
I don't know. We share the water, but we don't share the wine.
No, we don't share the wine.
So, yeah, the idea is just a very, to have a red also for something more spicy. If you have spicy ribs, if you want to have a little bit more something from the smoker, that is a great wine to do that.
You don't have a single wine that isn't different than the common. Like the wine expression around here. You know exactly where you are, kind of. And this is like, oh, this is just a bit different. I don't know, maybe it's your husband's palate, but there's everything I love. I love all your wines so much.
There is like a red line going through all of them, but as you experienced 4 or 5 now, we have that very fruit forwardness. I think I said that before. That's the whole idea, to have that real what we pick, to have that and keep that in the glass, and then we back it up. Here we back it up with that, not having it oaked, having it a little bit chilled. The bubblies, we have all that CO2 to interfere with your taste buds. The traditional reds, like the Pinot, the Meritage, the Cabernet Sauvignon, they all have a little bit of the oak as a backup. And then the whites, they have all that fresh, chingy acidity. So sounds like winemaking is pretty easy.
Sure.
Sure. I'm not a winemaker.
Yeah, easy for you.
I'm actually the 10th generation viticulturist. So my family goes back to 10 generations. So Bern's is 1783, and my family goes back to the 1600s in the grape growing.
Wow. My goodness. So if epigenetics has anything to teach us, we learn things and we have this knowledge in our body. That
Yeah, well, I don't
sort
know.
of instinctive knowledge that's gathered over years.
It helps.
Yeah. It's nice to have a history, just a personal history that informs decisions, and it's like, oh, this feels right, this looks right.
Yeah.
That you can go a lot with instinct.
Yeah, but It's also for a vintage like this year.
Well, this is a
It's
mother of the year. So.
it's not that we haven't had that in the whole family history before.
Of course.
Not that I want to have it again, but things happen. And down the road, we are just farmers, and we do our best. And Mother Nature is sometimes a bit more cranky than other years. So yeah.
Yep, it's true. All right, you have a quick
Cocktail?
to put together,
Awesome.
and then we have to
Yes.
say goodbye. I'd like to just stay here with you and drink wine and eat cheese all day.
So I don't have a better. I have to get the water out.
I have no idea what she's doing, but she's doing it over there. This is so good. It's
The
like a
ice-
Beaujolais kind of fun party wine.
The ice melted away.
Ah,
So you fill your glass
all right.
with ice. We do just a quick Aperol spritz. You grab a wedge of orange.
Yeah.
I usually cut them extra thin
Okay.
because two things: nobody will touch them because they are so inflexible to chew on them, and
That's
you get
good.
you get more flavor if you have two slices. You catch a
Nice.
little bit more.
Yeah, more surface area.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hang
Ooh.
on. Now it gets scientific.
Yes, you're like a chemist here.
Yeah.
She's got her beakers.
So that's from the lab. From winemaking, you have a little bit of lab work to do as well.
That's
So
fine.
it's very easy. It's 3, 2, 1.
3 to 1. Okay.
3 to 1.
ratio recipe.
3 parts of bubbly.
3 parts bubbles. Okay. Would you like me to add them?
Yes.
Okay. You pass them, I'll add them.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm an honest person. There was a fly in here, but I can't do it any other way. So this is the Aperol.
Okay.
2 parts of Aperol.
All right.
And then we have 1 part of soda water.
Ooh. 3, 2, and 1.
Here we go.
Okay.
And
Adding
it's
a little bit more
refreshing.
bubble.
It's a little bit bubbly, a little bit more bubbly from this. And this is,
Wow,
you don't even
so
have
pretty.
to steer it because
Yeah.
the CO2 does that automatically. It looks great. It's such an easy one to have at home.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
one of the Aperol liqueur.
Yeah.
You can do the same with the Campari as well. It's a
Okay.
little bit rougher taste-wise with the
Okay.
Campari.
Yeah.
But the Aperol is so refreshing and easy to do.
Okay.
And with the petite, I'm sorry, yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
With the petite, you get spoiled. Yeah.
I know. I love this job.
It's a great option if you have just a
Oh.
small bottle. It's enough creating for 4 people the Aperol.
That's so nice. What a great idea.
Okay.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to take this and impress the heck out of my friends.
And it's not rocket science.
No.
It's so easy
and
to,
I don't
to
even
do.
need your little science beakers. I can measure things myself.
You can use it in a cup, like
Yeah,
at home.
because
There's
it's a
1 cup,
ratio.
2 cup. Exactly. So
Wow.
everything works.
I love it so much. This
Super.
has been fantastic. I'm so happy that we came.
Thank you. Thank you for stopping by.
Well, absolutely.
yeah.
So you just quickly tell the people where they can find you.
Okay, so we are located in Summerland. It's basically between Penticton and Kelowna. We are right on the highway, so easy to pull in. The wine shop is open every day between 10:30 and 5. If you want to give us a heads up for a reservation, that's great, but you can also just drop in. We probably have a spot for you. The tasting is kind of what we did today. 4 wines are in the tasting. Maybe not so much chit-chatting like we did today.
We chit-chat about corks for about half an hour.
But you will get the whole family history. You will get the whole introduction about the vineyards, about the wines. So our team is really doing that one-on-one.
Amazing.
Awesome. Thank
Well,
you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Bye, everybody.
See ya.